prices rise.
Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, infinite glory to our mighty power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Racha, Kudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well and teach well, and who are the true leaders, of Israel. And, it's like peace, Satan, side chesting to the hopeful elect, especially in this word, true and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And I want to do a lesson pertaining to what's going on out there in California, and it was soon to go on and throughout the United States, Babylon the Great, as of concerning these gas prices. And I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip.
As gas prices rise, California is feeling pain at the pump more than any other state in this country. CBS's Andres Gutierrez in Los Angeles explains why. Andres, good evening.
Good evening, Jerika. Just take a look at the prices on this sign. Everything is above $5, just showing a painful reminder of how fast this is all moving. Drivers I spoke with tell me that they are paying more, getting less, and feel like there is no relief in sight. While the rest of the country is paying around $3.45 for a gallon of gas, AAA says in California it's more than $5, a jump of more than 50 cents in just a week.
I'm paying $40, but that doesn't get me a full tank anymore.
Before the war with Iran, California was already in a tough spot.
A unique market that is essentially cut off from the rest of the country.
The state has the highest gas tax in the country, almost 70 cents a gallon. It also requires a cleaner, more expensive fuel blend. What do you think about the prices when you first pulled up?
Well, the prices are nuts.
With the permanent shutdown of two major California refineries due to high operating costs and other factors, overall capacity will be reduced about 18%. If this conflict continues, how high could gas prices go?
Well, it's very difficult to see what the top may look like. We could ultimately see prices reaching new records if the Strait of Hormuz continues to be blocked.
Some drivers are already changing their habits.
It's part of the reason why I have my bike here is because it's cheaper.
Now, for drivers wondering how much higher prices will get, well, the record here in Los Angeles was set back in 2022, just as Russia's war in Ukraine was getting underway. Back then, drivers were paying almost $6.50 a gallon. Jerika?
That's a lot of money.
All these are the beginning of sorrows, man. It's only going to get worse from now. Let's get the scriptures. Let's get the book of... Let me see. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. That's Ezekiel 1. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, starting at verse 5, and it reads. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1. Book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 1, and it reads, Moreover, the word of the Lord Ha'adwan Yahweh Ba'asmi Al-Shai came unto me, saying, Also thou son of man, Slakin, also thou son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, unto the land of Israel, and the end has come upon the four corners of the land. And what is that referring to? What is that iterating? It's talking about America, Babylon the Great, because America, Babylon the Great is going to be the ultimate judgment, where the Lord is going to destroy this place, man. We're at the end of Esau's kingdom. Hey, what's that scripture where it says, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed? We're living at the end of Esau's kingdom. This is the end of his rulership, man. So this is the end of the four corners of the land, referring to America, Babylon the Great. And now you can see America's collapse, America's demise is soon to come, by way of these certain gas prices skyrocketing, going to $8. Hey, very soon, when all hell breaks loose, gas is going to be about $50, man. To the point that you can't even put no money in you can't even put certain for example, you can't put certain bills that you used to pay, you know, for like $15, $30. It's gonna be to the point where people are gonna be putting $50 on their tank, you know, or matter of fact, $300 just to fill up a tank, man, you know. Verse 3, now the end is come upon thee, and I'll send my anger upon thee, and it will judge thee according to thy ways, you know. And that's what Yahweh from outside it's gonna do, you know. And will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations, man. You know, all the abominations of America, Babylon the Great, you know, all the wickedness that this place promotes. You know, the Lord's going to judge this place. Verse 4, and my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I'll recompense thy ways upon thee, and thy abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. And it's right, the Lord's not going to spare. Verse 5, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, power in evil, and only evil, behold, is come. And that's what's coming, man. You know, we're this society is far from getting to so-called normal. Because normalcy, you know, people, you know, they tend to believe normalcy as going back to 2016, 2015, 2012, even way back, going back to 05, 2005. You know, they consider that, you know, normal. You know, they think that this society is going to go back to that. Nah, it's been, you know, wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man. Rough paraphrase, you know. So there's no going back. This is going to continue to get worse and worse. Matter of fact, let me get that scripture after this. And end has come, the end has come. It watch for thee, behold, it is come. And let's get to that scripture I just quoted, where it says Isaiah. I think Isaiah 13:11. Book of Isaiah, chapter 13. That's like it. That's in the Apocrypha. As a matter of fact, I can bring that out. I can bring that out as well. Book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verses 11. And I'll punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I'll cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. You know, so the Lord is going to punish the wicked, man. And who's the wicked? Esau, Edom, so-called white man. You know, he ruling in him ruling this his world in wickedness, man. The wicked that he promotes out here, man. He's going to punish the wicked for their iniquity. You know. And a lot of these devils, they're proud, man. You know, going to these other countries, you know, robbing these people, you know, killing their people. You know, scripture says he cannot be satisfied, you know. What was that in the book of Haggai 2 and 5? Let me get that real quick. Or the book of Habakkuk. Book of Habakkuk. Yeah. This is the book of Habakkuk, or the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. We'll start at verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. That's right, by his faith. That's right, his soul is not lifted up in him, man. You know? That's why the scripture says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. You know? He covered the faces of the judges thereof, roughly paraphrasing. You know, this devil, Esau, Edom, you know, he goes around the world conquering, man. You know, starting with Alexander the Great, that damn devil, man, that Edomite that went around the four corners of the earth, you know, taking people's land, you know, and killing them off. You know, you saw what they did to Japheth, drove them out, you know. Esau, ever since Esau, Edom, you know, came out of those Caucasus Mountains, you know. You saw what he did to our brothers, the Gadites and the Reubenites, what he did to Issachar and Zebulon, you know, and what he did to the southern kingdom as well, you know, what he did in Australia to the Aborigines, those Japhites, you know, killing and conquering, man, you know. For example, Christopher Columbus, that Edomite, said he couldn't put down his sword, man. You know, I believe he said that in a quote, saying that Christopher Columbus was, you know, real name is Cristobal Colon. He said he couldn't held back his sword from blood, man. You know, he couldn't. That shows that Esau that shows that prophecies are real, man. You know, I shall slay my brother Jacob, you know, rough paraphrasing. Verse 5, yet also because he is yet also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. That's right, Esau, Edom, he is a proud man. You know, very proud, very proud indeed, because, you know, he doesn't, you know, feel like he's not guilty of whatever he does, man. He feel like, you know, the Lord gave him the power seat, or put the power in his hand to do whatever he wants. As if the Lord doesn't have a surveillance camera on him. And the Lord been having a surveillance camera on Esau, Edom ever since Cain. You know, the Lord ain't forget about what Cain did to Abel, man. Cain being Esau, Edom, and Abel being our forefather, Jacob, man, you know. Coming back. Neither keep it at home, that's right. Neither keep it at home. You know, Esau, Edom, he established many naval bases around America, man. I mean, not around America, but around throughout the four corners of the earth. You know, throughout you got naval bases in Afghanistan, you got naval bases throughout Africa, U.S. naval bases. You got what's the name? What they got? Naval bases in France. You got naval bases in Australia. He got naval bases throughout the four corners of the earth, man, because he's the wicked, man, you know. That's why he got to be brought down, man, you know. It says he is a proud man, neither keep at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as death, it cannot be satisfied. That's right. He can't be satisfied at all, because he wants more, man, you know. You know, you even got Esau Edom planning to create a thing called flying vehicles, flying cars, man. You know, a lot of these people can't even drive in the road, having more in the air. You know, you see that? You know, the devil can't be satisfied, man. Here it is. You have car accidents that happen damn near every day, and a lot of people die because of that. There's more people. The major cause of death in America is through car crashes, I believe. You know, and he want to create a thing called, you know, flying vehicles, man, flying cars. You know, he can't be satisfied, man. You want to make it to where men can get pregnant. You know, he want to do all types of wickedness, man. That's why this devil got to be brought down. But gather unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people. Verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long unto him that laid himself with thick clay? That's right, man. You know, Esau's going to pay for all the wickedness that he has perpetuated on the earth, man. You know? He's going to pay for all these this wickedness, man. He's gonna pay soon. Verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. That's right. Since Esau Edom, spoiled a lot of these other nations, these other nations gonna spoil him, especially when they shoot their missiles, man. Because of men's blood and for the vines of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein. Esau Esau has a tab to pay, and his tab is gonna pay real soon. What's that? The book of James? I think James chapter 2. Salaki, let me see. I thought it was James chapter 2, verse 14. Let's see if I can find that scripture through the Spirit. Oh, James 2 and 13. Oh, I was close. Book of James chapter 2 and verse 13, and it reads, for he shall have judgment without mercy that has showed no mercy. Slakia, I'm reading it again, James 2 and 13. I'm reading it slow. For he shall have judgment without mercy that has showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. So in essence, man, the Lord is going to, show no mercy, man. And the Lord is going to use his elect to bring forth his judgment on these nations, particularly the main totem pole, Esau Edom, the top of the list, because the Lord has Esau Edom on his hit list. Esau Edom is the main top enemy that's on the hit list, man, And he's gonna show no mercy, man. Especially when thy kings shall be thy nursing fathers and queens thy nursing mothers. We ain't gonna show no mercy to these Idumeans, man. They're gonna get their judgment real soon. Cause all the things that they show, all the things they did on the earth, man. All the wickedness, I should say. So we ain't gonna show no mercy to these devils, man. Cause there has to come a time when, wickedness is gonna be extracted from the earth, man. And it has to be from the cleanse of this society, man. The society has to be destroyed. But I'm going to pretty much end it on there. I just want to make a quick lesson to the Spirit. I want to give all praises, honor, infinite glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakadash. And I pray and hope that this lesson was edifying and comforting to the elect. Shalom.